But good sturdy carbon fibers in the bottom, both on the control surface and on the elevator tail itself. Okay, so that makes it nice and sturdy. Okay, your vertical stabilizer with your rudder. Okay, it has a plastic sleeve on the bottom that it's already slid into. I believe it's glued in place. Yeah, it's not pulling out. It's good and tight, so it is glued in place already. Okay, it has two little pins that stick down on it. That's going to slide through the tail, and we're going to put those screws that are in this bag through it to hold that in place. Okay, first it's going to, of course, go over our elevator as such and slide onto the tail and then screw through the bottom to hold it on. And we'll do that shortly, probably make it another video. I did forget to mention the books, pulled them out of the way right away. But it comes with the book on the radio. Okay, inside of that has your registration card. Okay, everybody has their little registration cards when you buy electronics. You know, everybody should already know that. Your choice whether to register it or not. But it's always nice to put a registration in case they have a recall or something like that. They notify you right away and you can take it in. We did have some DX6Is that were being recalled. Some people got notified, some people didn't. Some people may still be using them, and I don't know what the recall was on them. I didn't go into detail on it. I usually don't fly Spectrum, but this seems like a very good buy to me. A very good buy. Great trainer plane. It's basically the Cub, but it has the ailerons on it. So if you're with the Cub and you really like the Cub, you would love this plane. You don't have to do anything to it. It has the ailerons. And look at the wingspan on this thing. The wingspan on this thing is going to be amazing. That's a good sized wingspan there. I think that's a good 50-inch wingspan. I don't know what it is. I didn't actually look. I guess I should have more of my details, but you know what? I'll put it in the sidebar. I'll put the details of the plane specs in the sidebar. But look at that wingspan. That is just amazing. That's a good sized plane. You know, and this can all be removed to store it, to put it in your car. Now you can leave the wings together, and as you can see, the servo controls, the servo wires, will just be on the bottom. You plug them in, set in place, put the rubber bands on. You can take this off and stick it in the truck or the car in the back seat, along with the fuselage, and you're ready to go. Came with a book on the Apprentice itself. Okay, it's got all the specs in here, the charging, what you need, how to install everything, how to do everything. It has a sticky, I guess the plastics have sticky on them to stick to hold those two together, but you have the nice stickies that you can put it together. You know, it tells you everything about it, plugging in the servos, basics, putting the rubber bands on, just basics on little things, because they're really nothing to build. Most of it's common sense. It tells you how to set up your radio. You know, it tells you which direction should make your elevators go what, which direction should make your rudder do what. You know, aileron, same thing. You know, if you move the switch to the right one should go up, left one should go down. You move it to the left one should go up, the right one should go down. So whichever direction, when you're testing on the table, whichever direction you're going to turn, when you push your stick that direction, that side should turn up. The other side should go down for your ailerons, okay? But anyway, the book has all the information on it in there. As a matter of fact, here we go. We got a 58-inch wingspan, 37 inches long. Okay, the wing area is 525 square inches and weighs, without the battery, 32 to 35 ounces, with the battery, 40 to 45 ounces. So it's a good sized plane with a good sized motor in it. It says I should get about a 15-minute flight time on it. We'll see when I get it charged up. It comes with a good battery, really good battery. It comes with a great radio. It's really not a bad price. You should find it for under 300 bucks, okay? It's a little bit more than the Cub, but you got the ailerons already done. It has a 2.4 gigahertz radio and a good quality one at that. You know, it's not a cheap knockoff radio. It's good quality products, adjustable charger, good thick durable foam plane. I can't imagine you're going to break too much on this, even if you do bring it down a little hard. It's a good sturdy looking plane. We're going to put it together and we're going to see how she flies. So that's my rendition on the open box part. In the open box, they also come with, it does also come with, before I end here, it does come with instructions on how to bind your receiver to your radio. Now those that have 2.4 gigahertz already know how to do this type of stuff, but those that don't are going to love this instruction here on how to do it. And I do recommend you going ahead and binding it with it. Even though they're together, you want to make sure you bind it, okay? And if you start feeling like anything, after you've been flying it for a couple months or something like that, you feel like it's lost its bind or something, you're not real comfortable with it, go ahead and rebind it. If you feel like rebinding it every time you fly, go for it. Rebind. All it does is the binding synchronizes your receiver with your radio is what it does. It's like having an FM radio that uses the crystals. The crystals tell it what channel to go on. This actually tells it what radio to go on. Not what channel, but what radio. So 15 guys with 2.4 could be standing next to each other and not have to worry about getting hit from each other's radios. 15 guys with FM 72s, 75s, 35 megahertz, 27 megahertz AMs. Those guys might have a problem with standing next to the same guy because he might be on the same channel, or within 1 or 2 channels difference, you could possibly get a hit from each other. With a 2.4, you don't get that. So that's really good about it. I do fly FM for most of my stuff, and I don't have a problem, but not to say if you're out at a field with several people, you have to make sure nobody's on your channel. Okay, then it does have here the connecting ailerons, just a basic thing on how to clip your little control rods to your ailerons, because they use the C-clip type stuff that snap over your control horns. So it does just a basic sheet on that. It actually came with 2 of them, I don't know why. They're in the same language, they're both in English, so I don't know why it came with 2. I guess they just stuck 2 in the box. I'm going to go ahead and put this stuff back together. And stick it back in the box. I'll edit this video down so it don't. You got the E-Flight official product registration. Okay? Register your plane. In case there's a recall on something crazy like a servo or something. You get a free servo out of it. Maybe even get another plane. You might have to, just to protect yourself. Okay? Here's a little something on the 30 amp speed control. Okay? How to program it. It comes pre-programmed, but there's little things that you might want to change on it, like when it's when it shuts down. Does it have a hard shut off or a soft? Does it, when you let off the throttle, does it slow the prop down or does it just stop giving power? Little things that you might want to do. It comes basically already redone. This is already out of the box. You put the wings together, you stick the landing gear on it, you screw the tail on, and it's ready to go. You put a few minutes into it, well, maybe an hour or 2 in the battery, okay, for charging. You charge the battery up, it lets you know when it's charged, and you're good. There is a way in this book that tells you how to test your radio for distance, for your, when you want to check it. You put it 90 foot from you, you hold the training switch, and you throw the dual rate a couple times, and then it tests to make sure your receiver and your plane will handle a large range, handle its preferred range. Just so you know that you're not going to fly out of your range. When I have a problem, both sticks back automatically. That's what I do. I kill the throttle, I pull the right stick back so the elevator goes up, so it comes in softly. Okay, so wherever it's coming down at, it's coming in softly. If I have a problem, that's how I bring it down. You may not want it a hard back, you might want it a slight back, you might want to do a neutral stick. You always want to shut throttle down, but you might want to do a neutral stick just so it floats off, okay, rather than, coming. You don't want to come down nose heavy, okay, you don't want it nosing into the ground on you. So you want at least a neutral stick, maybe even a little bit of your elevator back to keep the tail from, coming up on you, nosing in. It brings the tail down, keeps you kind of bringing it in softly, okay? But if by chance you lose signal, okay, and you have no control over your plane, and it goes into safe mode, the safe mode will be whatever position you bind it to be in. Very good feature to me, okay? Very safe, good feature. Let's start putting this thing together.